Hello, hello. Welcome to Tuesday Tea Time. I am in the UK. I just finished up my UK clinic. Thank you everyone who is here. It's been spectacular here in Devon as always. And good news, I'll be back next year. So today I'm pretty excited because I had some really good revelations about my own development in this clinic. This is one of my favorite things about traveling and teaching. I really feel that I learn a lot as I get to be an observer and as I get to share my insights and my theories with others. I really learn a little bit more about everything it is that I'm going to do with my own herd when I get home. So this week, I thought I'd talk about solving problems a small piece at a time. When we have a halter or round pen or food rewards, we can put pressure on the horse to motivate them to solve problems, to answer questions, to learn faster. My specialty is to see if I can work with horses in a way where, what if we take away all the tools of pressure? It's not that we won't use pressure, it's that we will use pressure in a way that we can do with our own bodies if the horse had the freedom to step away and we don't have control of the food resources. So this is what I call freedom-based training. The horse is free to do whatever they like, assuming it's safe enough. And I'm going to train them by the responses I make to their emotional states and their choices. The theory being, if I can train a horse to think cooperatively, the physical training comes pretty easily. So I had this revelation this week when we were talking about horses that don't necessarily like to be touched. Now, I have lots of different ways that I can go about this. But how do you teach a horse that feels like they have bad associations with touch for any reason, that touch now is a good thing? And one of the things that I talk about is breaking a problem in half. So if we have a problem with touch or with closeness, and the horse is not sure that they like it, you sort of feel like maybe I have to go up to the horse and touch them before they can get good at it. Like, how do you practice something without doing it? And I had this fabulous revelation this week that the approach is part of the process of touching. Now, this isn't the first time I've thought this. I often think, well, your hand reaching towards the horse is a form of approach. But I realized that just walking towards the horse from a distance is also an approach that we can work on. So specifically, one of the things we were working on in the clinic is if we want a horse to enjoy closeness more, we want them to enjoy touch more, we want them to enjoy forms of co-regulation where we can help them feel better in their own skin. What we're going to do is we're going to go to a distance, and as we walk towards the horse, we're going to notice every moment that they feel better naturally. They feel better because they heard a bird singing in the tree. They feel better because they smelled something they liked. They feel better because they yawn. They feel better because they take a deep breath. Any number of things can make them feel better accidentally. You didn't cause it. But when you just pause, you stop moving. What you do is you let them fully experience the sensations in their own body that was created through that sensory experience. And that gets inexorably linked with the approach that you were practicing. So what I found is if you can approach a horse and pause with each positive sensory experience, then when you get there, maybe it's appropriate to touch them, maybe it's not, but this approach to the horse is a really powerful way to work on touch without touching. Then you go back out to a distance, you rinse, and you repeat. So as you're approaching, you are cementing good memories of getting closer equals feeling better. With each step closer, you think, if I get closer, is it going to get better or is it going to get worse? And this is a really, really powerful exercise. I can't say I've never done it, but I feel like I understand it in a new way. Or I feel like I understand how I could connect it to touch in a new way. And watching people this week working on this approach with pauses was really powerful for me. And I can't wait to get home. And I have one horse in my herd that doesn't love touch. And I'm really, really excited to be a little bit more aware of how touch isn't just about touch. Touch is about everything that builds up to touch. And if we can take each step along the way and think, if I get a step closer, or if I move my hand closer, does the feeling get better or does the feeling get worse? And retreat and repeat, watching these cycles of emotions that a horse goes through naturally with pauses in the right place until touch starts to have as much good association as all those accidental sensory experiences you had on the way to touch. Then we also used it for horses that are uncomfortable with distance. I find that horses who get really spooky or worried or flighty or startle easily, they usually are horses that don't change focus very well and don't find harmony with others at greater distances. So horses that are flighty and spooky and worried, they tend to either want to be closer, or if they're far away, they really try hard to ignore the partner that is really far away. So we can use this same theory working out to the distance. If I move away from the horse and I pause every time they're really sensorily stimulated by the environment around them, and their feet are steady and it's easy to have harmony with them, and I mark that feeling as I pull away, then with each repetition, I think, if I pull away farther, is it likely to get better or is it likely to get worse? This is such a simple and profound practice. I really believe every problem we have with horses begins when we do too much too soon. And then we help them remember that an event or an interaction made them feel worse. If it made them feel worse, they don't want to repeat it. If they don't want to repeat it, then we end up getting in this battle of wills with a horse. So by taking a problem and breaking it down into pieces, we can develop good associations with each piece on the way to the problem. And I guess I've realized in a new profound way how much the space around the horse impacts the work we do with the horse. And I'm so excited about that. So I got to see it work with horses this week from both sides of the spectrum. Horses that maybe didn't want their halter on, or horses that couldn't bear to let their human step away from them. It's not that we need horses to wear halters per se. I certainly don't put halters on my horses very often. And it's not that we need to get far away from them. It's that the wider diversity of ways that we can spend time with our horses and enjoy time with our horses, the better the relationship gets. So if you go to touch your horse, I hope they enjoy it. And if they don't enjoy it, maybe this is some inspiration for you on how to work on that enjoyment. How do we build better associations with touch? Or how do we build better associations with distance? So Hey, Hazzy Clark says, was a fab clinics. Thanks so much for great learning. Just home in time for tea time. So glad you can join us. And thinking about distance and closeness for different horses was so helpful. Looking forward to working on building some comfort and curiosity at distance with Shadow. Awesome. So one of the questions I asked my students on the second day of the clinic was, if you had to create a priority for your horse today, would you want to work more on closeness and co-regulation and the ability to help them feel better? Or would you want to work more on distance and allowing the horse to develop their self-regulation and developing the horse's confidence and independence from you? And we can do either of those things. Some of the horses need more of one, some of the horses need more of the other. And I'm so excited when I find new sort of ways and new clarity on how to help my horses feel better in their own skin. Is that a little selfish because it's going to reflect well on me? Absolutely. If my horses feel better and I happen to be around while they feel better, they're going to look forward to me being around again. And that's fun. I'm not forcing them to like me. I'm just building positive associations with different activities and different proximities and different feelings we can have together. So those are my thoughts tonight. Hopefully it's a little bit helpful for you guys. I am in the UK tonight. I'm headed to the airport in the morning, back to Indiana for another clinic, and then I'll be in California at the Western States Horse Expo. So if any of you guys are around, come see me in Indiana, come see me in California. I would look forward to seeing you there. Have a wonderful evening, everyone. Cheers from the UK.